I was stacking files in the back office when Daniel walked in, grinning like he'd never left. "Ethan, man, it's been ages," he said, clapping me on the shoulder. His charm had always worked on everyone. "How's life treating my little brother?" I laughed nervously. "Same as always. Quiet, simple. You know me." Daniel leaned against the desk, eyes scanning the room. "I hear that, but listen, I got a little problem. I need your help." I frowned. "Your help? Don't you mean you're here to help me catch up?" No, he said, shaking his head. "It's serious. I messed up at the company I'm working for. Small thing, technically, but if anyone finds out, it's bad news. Real bad." I swallowed. "Daniel, what did you do?" "Nothing you can't handle," he said smoothly. "I just need you to take responsibility for a transaction. A minor mistake. No one will know, and you'll just say it was on you. I fix it after, I promise." I laughed nervously, shifting the files. "Take responsibility? You mean I go to jail for this?" Daniel's smile never wavered. "Not jail, Ethan. Just a slap on the wrist. Maybe some paperwork. I'll get it cleared up. Family looks out for each other, right?" I froze. Family. That word hit me. I'd always trusted him. "I don't know, Daniel. I mean, this sounds risky." He stepped closer. "Risky for who? Me? Ethan, I got this. You're my brother. I've got your back. Always have, always will." I nodded, heart pounding. I wanted to believe him. I always had. "Okay, if you say so." Daniel grinned, slapping my shoulder. "That's my boy." 2 days later, the alarm went off. I was sitting in my small apartment, Lily's hand in mine, when the police knocked. "Ethan Parker?" an officer asked. His tone left no room for jokes. I froze. Yes. You're under arrest for embezzlement." "What?" "No. There must be some mistake." I turned to Daniel, who was standing at the door, his face calm. Too calm. "Ethan, I told you it would be fine," he said softly. I couldn't breathe. "Fine? Are you kidding me?" The officers cuffed me before I could say more. Lily's scream pierced through me. "Ethan, Daniel, what did you do?" Daniel said nothing, just stepped aside, letting them take me. My heart shattered in that moment. In the interrogation room, I begged. "I didn't do this. He made me do it." They ignored me. The evidence, all tracing back to me, was damning. I tried to explain the transactions, my hours, my meetings, nothing mattered. Hours later, sitting in the holding cell, I felt Lily's absence like a punch in the gut. I remembered the last morning I saw her. "I'll come back to you, Lily," I whispered, gripping the cold metal bars. "I swear I'll come back." At trial, Daniel testified. Calm, composed. He painted me as greedy, careless. I wanted to scream, to tell the judge the truth, but my voice cracked under the weight of disbelief. When the sentence came down, 10 years, I felt my world collapse. 10 years. 10 years without Lily, without freedom, without a life. Daniel's eyes met mine from across the courtroom. No guilt, no regret. Just a smile that cut deeper than any knife. That night, in the dim cell, I sat on the hard cot, replaying everything. My trust, my love, my entire life, all manipulated. "How could you, Daniel? How could you?" I whispered to the empty walls. I wrote Lily a letter in the cell, my hands trembling. "Lily, I'm so sorry. I never wanted this to happen. I love you. Please wait for me. Please." Days blurred into weeks. I learned the rules of prison. Don't fight unless you must. Don't trust anyone. Survive first. But every night, I thought of Lily and the brother I had once idolized. Betrayal burned inside me, a fire I couldn't douse. One evening, Daniel visited, just outside the glass, smirking. "Ethan, you'll thank me someday," he said. I laughed bitterly. "Thank you? For destroying my life?" "Think bigger," he said. "You'll see. One day, you'll understand." I stared at him, rage bubbling. I wanted to hate him, curse him, strike him, but I knew it had to wait. Survival first. Revenge later. As the guard led him away, I clenched my fists. "I'll come back, Daniel. I'll come back, and things will never be the same." That night, I sat alone in my cell, listening to the distant screams and shuffling footsteps, feeling every heartbeat like a drum of war. Betrayed, broken, but not defeated. And for the first time, a plan began forming in my mind. The first night hit me like a sledgehammer. The cell smelled of sweat and fear. I sank onto the hard cot, listening to the clatter of metal doors and distant shouting. My mind refused to stop replaying Daniel's face, the calm, cold smile as they led me away. A voice broke through my fog. "New guy." I looked up. A tall man with sharp eyes and a scar along his jaw leaned against the bars. "Name's Marcus," he said. "You look like you just got dropped from a moon." I swallowed. Ethan Parker." "Parker, huh?" He grinned faintly. "Famous in here already. Everyone loves a guy who gets betrayed by family." I laughed bitterly. "Yeah, lucky me." Marcus sat on the cot opposite mine. "Don't let it eat you. Prison will break you if you let it. You survive first. Learn the rules." "What rules?" I asked. My voice shook. "I don't belong here. I didn't do anything." "Doesn't matter," he said, matter of fact. "Doesn't matter at all. You're inside now. People will test you. Guards, inmates, even your own mind. Don't get caught thinking you're innocent." I nodded slowly. I can't believe Daniel did this. My brother, my own brother." Marcus leaned forward. "Family's tricky in here. You can't count on blood. Count on yourself. Always." I buried my face in my hands. "And Lily, I promised her I'd come back. What if she forgets me?" Marcus' eyes softened slightly. "She won't forget you. But she's living her life now. You gotta live yours too, or you'll die inside." The first week was hell. Showers smelled like rust. The food was barely edible, and the other inmates looked for weakness. I kept my head down, answered only when spoken to. But every night, I scribbled letters to Lily, pouring out my thoughts. "I'm still here. I'm surviving. Please don't forget me. I'll come back to you." Days turned into weeks. No reply. My hope twisted into anger. I clenched the letters in my hands until they crumpled. Why won't she write back? Did he make her forget me? I muttered to myself. Marcus noticed. "Stop asking why," he said. "It won't help. Focus on what you can control." "What can I control?" I snapped. "They ruined my life, Marcus." "Daniel. He lied. He betrayed me." "And she's gone for now," he interrupted calmly. "Your life's still here. If you want to get through this, you learn the rules. You learn to survive. And you learn patience. Revenge comes later." I wanted to punch something. I don't care about patience. I want them to pay Daniel, Lily, everyone who left me behind. Marcus chuckled softly. "You'll get a chance. But first, survive. Don't make this place end you." By the third month, I began noticing patterns. The way guards walked certain paths, the way inmates moved in packs, who kept to themselves and who looked for trouble. Marcus taught me to read them like a map. "See that guy?" he said one day, pointing at a muscular inmate shaking down a smaller one. "You got a weakness. Learn it. Knowledge is protection." I nodded. "And if I can't, then you don't fight him. You wait. Patience, Ethan. Timing is everything." In the quiet hours, I replayed Daniel's words in my head. "You're my brother. I got your back." Every time, it felt like a knife twisting. I wrote in my journal, "I'll be back. I'll fix this. I won't be the same man when I return." One night, Marcus sat beside me. "You know, Ethan, anger's dangerous if it consumes you. But it can be fuel too. Use it wisely." "I don't know how," I admitted. "I feel hollow and heavy at the same time. Every memory of Lily, every smile of Daniel, it's poison." Marcus nodded. "Then turn it into strategy. You think about what they took, what you lost. Plan for when you walk out. The world will look different when you're free." I started small, observing, learning. I talked only when necessary, kept my head low, but listened to everything. I noticed alliances, grudges, weaknesses. Every interaction was data. Marcus would sometimes tease me. "You're turning into a little spider, weaving your web." "I hate this," I admitted one night. "I hate every second. I hate that I'm learning from here. I hate that Daniel. I hate Lily." "You're alive," Marcus said quietly. "That's what matters. You're learning to survive, to see clearly. One day you'll use it." And slowly, amidst the despair, a spark of resolve grew. I wasn't just surviving, I was observing, preparing. Every slight, every betrayal, every unanswered letter fed a fire in me I hadn't felt before. Weeks turned to months. My body grew stronger, my mind sharper. I could read the room, the people, even the guards. Marcus' lessons were sinking in. I began to see how I could turn this prison into a classroom, a forge. I still thought of Lily every night, of the life I lost, of Daniel's betrayal. Sometimes I screamed into the pillow until my throat burned. Sometimes I wrote letters I knew I'd never send, releasing my pain onto paper. One evening, Marcus said, "You're changing, Ethan. I can see it. Don't let your rage blind you, but don't let it die either. It'll be useful, very useful." I looked at him, the first trace of a plan forming in my mind. "I'm not the same man I was," I whispered. "When I get out, Daniel and Lily, they'll see." Marcus smiled faintly. "That's the spirit. Now sleep. Tomorrow's another day. Another lesson." I lay down on the hard cot, staring at the ceiling. Betrayed. Broken. Angry. But no longer helpless. For the first time, the thought of the future didn't terrify me. It excited me. I would survive. I would return. And when I did, everything would change. I hadn't seen a familiar face in 10 years. The prison walls had taught me to look past names and faces, but today was different. "Ethan Parker?" a visitor asked, stepping into the room. I looked up. "Yes." My voice was cautious, brittle. "My name's Linda. I used to know your wife, Lily. She asked me to bring you news." My stomach dropped. "News? About Lily?" Linda nodded slowly. She's moved on, Ethan. She's married Daniel." I felt the floor vanish beneath me. "What?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. "Daniel married Lily." "Yes," Linda said softly. "I'm so sorry. I didn't want to be the one to tell you, but she asked me to." I pressed my hands to my face. No, this can't be real. She promised me. She promised." Linda didn't answer. She just shook her head, leaving me with the weight of the words. I sank into the chair, trembling. 10 years, and he took everything. My wife, my life. Marcus appeared beside me that night, his presence calm, steady. "I heard," he said quietly. "Sit down, Ethan." I shook my head violently. "I can't sit, Marcus. He married her. My brother, my Lily, my whole life is gone." Marcus placed a hand on my shoulder. "Your life isn't gone. Not yet. You survived this long. You can survive what comes next." "I can't survive this," I said, my voice breaking. Every memory, every smile, every word I trusted. Daniel took it all. Marcus nodded. "That's what betrayal does. It rips you open, but it can't define you. It can fuel you, or it can destroy you." I shook my head, pacing. I trusted him. I trusted them. My brother, my wife, everything I believed in. "You're not naive anymore," Marcus said. "You've learned to survive. Now you learn to think. Let anger sharpen your mind, not blind it." I sank onto my cot, staring at the floor. Every time I close my eyes, I see her face, Marcus. Lily smiling at me, laughing, and then Daniel standing there, smiling too. I can't get it out of my head. "Good," Marcus said softly. "You remember. You feel. That's important. But don't let it trap you. Your heart aches because it's alive. You survived 10 years for a reason." I rub my temples. I feel like I wasted a decade of my life believing in family, in love. And he betrayed me. "Betrayal teaches," Marcus said. "It teaches clarity. It teaches patience. It teaches strategy. You're learning all that now, whether you like it or not." I laughed bitterly. Strategy? Patience? I want them to hurt. Daniel, Lily, everyone who left me behind. I don't want strategy. I want them to pay. "And you will," Marcus said. "But not now. Not here. Here, you survive. Out there, you reclaim." Timing, Ethan. Timing is everything. I leaned back, my head against the wall, shaking. I keep thinking about the mornings I woke up next to her, the nights we spent talking about our future. And he just stepped in and stole it. Like it meant nothing. Marcus sighed. "It did mean something, Ethan. It meant everything to you. And that's what makes it powerful. Use it. Use the memories. They'll remind you what's worth fighting for." I clenched my fists. I don't even know if she ever loved me. Marcus, maybe all those letters I sent, all those promises, maybe they meant nothing to her once he was there. "You don't know that," Marcus said firmly. "She might have loved you. She might have waited. Or maybe she gave up. Doesn't matter. What matters is what you do next." I feel hollow, I admitted. Every day, I wake up and it hits me again. Daniel's smiling face, Lily's eyes, my wasted years. It's like a knife twisting in me constantly. That's pain, Marcus said. It's part of survival. It's part of growth. Don't fight it, channel it. You're not powerless, Ethan. You're alive, you're thinking, and you're planning. That's strength. I stared at the ceiling, the memory of Lily's laughter echoing in my head. I keep wondering, did she ever think of me while I was gone? Did she miss me at all? She did, in her way, Marcus said quietly. You can't see it, but people act differently under pressure. Don't dwell on what she did. Focus on what you will do. I want my life back, I said. I want to see Daniel regret what he did. I want Lily. I don't even know if I want her or just the life I lost. Maybe both. Maybe I want them to feel the betrayal I felt. Good, Marcus said. You're feeling again. You're alive again. Let it guide you. Don't let it consume you. Plan, observe, learn. That's how you survive, and that's how you'll reclaim what's yours. I close my eyes, imagining Daniel's face when he realizes he lost the one person he relied on for control. Me. The thought made my blood boil, but also steady. 10 years, I muttered. 10 years I thought I was losing myself. But maybe I was gaining something else. Something stronger. Something they can't take from me. Marcus smiled faintly. Exactly. That's what survival teaches. And when the time comes, you'll be ready. Don't rush it. Build it. Patience. I nodded slowly. The anger, the betrayal, the grief, they were still there, but now I had a purpose beyond despair. I would survive, I would grow, and when I stepped out of these walls, Daniel and Lily would see a man they no longer recognized. A man no one could break. And for the first time in years, I felt hope. The gates opened, and the sunlight felt foreign on my skin. 10 years of iron bars, cement walls, and broken hope. And now, the air smelled like freedom and regret all at once. I exhaled slowly. This is really happening, I muttered to myself. A familiar voice called out from the parking lot. Ethan. I turned to see Olivia Kane, my childhood friend. She hadn't changed much, still bright eyes, still sharp. Olivia, I asked, disbelief heavy in my voice. She ran toward me, hugging me tightly. Ethan, you're out. I can't believe it. I hugged her back, letting the tension seep out. I can't believe it either. Everything looks different, and yet, nothing's changed. She pulled back, searching my face. You look different. Stronger. Scarred, but stronger. Are you okay? I forced a laugh. Okay. That's a funny word to use right now. I'm alive. That's all I can say. You survived 10 years, she said. Most wouldn't. You're not just alive. You're unstoppable if you want to be. I nodded, feeling the weight of her words. I want to be unstoppable, but it's complicated. She looked at me knowingly. I know. Daniel. Lily. I flinched. Yeah, I saw them. Daniel's life, perfect on the surface. He has her. He has wealth, everything he ever wanted. But I see the cracks. I see the arrogance that hides weakness. And I'm not the same man he left behind. Olivia smiled faintly. Good. You need that fire. Don't let him think you're broken. Show him you're alive, Ethan. Show him you're smarter, stronger. I exhaled. I don't even know where to start. Everyone I knew moved on. Lily gone. Daniel pretending. And me? I have to rebuild everything from scratch. Then start small, Olivia said. Reconnect with people, learn new skills, focus on yourself. The rest will follow. I ran my hand through my hair, thinking, you're right. I can't just storm back in and expect things to crumble. I need patience, planning, strategy. 10 years of being powerless. I won't make that mistake again. Exactly, she said. And I'll help. You don't have to do this alone. Her support warmed me. Thanks, Olivia. I forgot what it felt like to have someone in my corner. She nudged me playfully. Well, I'm here now. Deal with it. I chuckled, the first genuine laugh in years. Deal. We walked through the town. Shops, houses, people laughing. Life continued without me. Every familiar street corner felt like a reminder of what I had lost. I stopped abruptly. There he is. Daniel was standing outside a cafe, perfectly groomed, laughing at something a colleague said. His presence should have made me shrink, but it didn't. Not anymore. I felt calm, measured, my anger refined into purpose. Olivia whispered, "You okay?" I nodded. "I'm more than okay. I'm ready." He saw me and froze briefly, his eyes narrowing. Then a smile spread across his face, forced, hollow. "Ethan, didn't expect to see you here," he said, voice casual. "Daniel," I said. My voice was even controlled. "It's been a long time. 10 years," he said. "I mean, wow. You look different. Good different, I guess." I studied him. Everything about him screamed arrogance. "You look the same," I said softly, still pretending everything is perfect. He laughed nervously. "Pretending? I'm just living my life. You know, surviving." "Yes," I said, "surviving. But pretending doesn't make you strong, Daniel. It makes you fragile." His face tightened, and I felt a small thrill. This was just the beginning. Over the next weeks, I started rebuilding myself. I ran every morning, lifting weights, training my mind and body. Olivia checked in daily. "You're changing," she said one afternoon. "Your posture, your confidence, you're becoming unstoppable, just like you promised." I smiled faintly. It's strange. For so long, I wanted only revenge. But now, I want more than that. I want control. I want my life back. And I want Daniel to see that taking everything from me didn't break me. It made me stronger. "You'll get there," Olivia said. "And when you do, it'll be satisfying." I nodded, thinking of Daniel flaunting his life, thinking he had one. I began noticing his patterns, his arrogance, the way he underestimated people. He flaunted wealth, power, control, but he didn't notice his own flaws. "You're calculating," Olivia observed one evening. "Careful, quiet, strategic. That's good. That's exactly what you need." "Yes," I said. "I won't rush. I'll build, learn, gather information. One mistake from him, one misstep, and it will matter more than he imagines." I started making connections, quietly learning who supported him, who disliked him, who resented his arrogance. Every interaction was data, every observation a potential weapon. My anger fueled my strategy, but Olivia kept me grounded. "Don't let it consume you," she warned. "You want revenge, yes, but don't lose yourself in the process." "I know," I said. "This isn't about blind rage anymore. It's about balance, planning, winning on my terms." Daniel may have thought I'd be broken, forgotten, weak. He's wrong. I'm alive. I'm learning. And when I act, it will be deliberate. Perfect timing. She smiled faintly. "I've never seen you like this. Focused, strong, dangerous in the right way." I chuckled. Dangerous is exactly what I need to be. Walking home that night, I looked at the stars and whispered, 10 years, Daniel. 10 years of waiting. And now it begins. You think your life is perfect. You think I'm gone. But I'm back. And when I move, you won't see it coming. Olivia squeezed my hand. "I'll be right here. Don't forget that." I nodded. "I won't. Not ever." For the first time since I left prison, I felt in control. My life wasn't stolen anymore. It was mine to reclaim. And Daniel would finally see the man I had become. I exhaled, the cool night air filling my lungs. The world had moved on without me, but I had returned stronger, wiser, and ready. And nothing, not Daniel, not betrayal, not lost years, would stop me. I waited, quietly observing, while Daniel flaunted his so-called perfect life. His smiles, handshakes, empty compliments, they all reeked of arrogance. But I had learned patience. 10 years of waiting had taught me that subtlety beats brute force. I started small. At a charity event, I approached one of Daniel's associates, a man named Kevin. "Kevin, how's the new deal going?" I asked casually, smiling. Kevin looked uncomfortable. "Oh, fine, I guess." "What?" "Just curious," I said. "I heard some numbers didn't add up on that last project. Maybe it was a misunderstanding." Kevin shifted uneasily. I'm not sure what you mean." I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice. "You know Daniel. Ambitious. Sometimes he takes liberties. But don't worry, I won't say a word. Just be careful." He nodded quickly, eyes darting around. "Right, yeah, of course." I walked away, pretending casual interest, but inside, a spark of satisfaction burned. A seed of doubt had been planted. Daniel's first crack. Later, I met Olivia for coffee. "How's it going?" she asked, smiling. I took a deep breath. "Better. I've started nudging Daniel's world, subtly. Kevin's uneasy. I can see it. I can feel the tension growing." She leaned in, whispering, "Be careful. Don't get too obvious. You're on the edge already." I smiled faintly. "I know. Subtlety is the key. Let karma work for me, not against me." Over the next few days, I made quiet inquiries. Daniel had lied to more people than I imagined. Friends, business partners, even family. He built walls of deceit, thinking no one would notice. I noticed. Every piece of information I gathered was another arrow in my quiver. One evening, I confronted Daniel at his office, appearing calm. "Daniel," I said, voice neutral, "I hear the Northside deal didn't go as planned." He raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" "Oh, just whispers," I said, leaning on the doorway. "Numbers missing, agreements changed." Kevin seemed concerned. Funny how things always slip through the cracks, isn't it? He tensed, his smile faltering. "Ethan, I don't know what you're talking about." I shrugged casually. "Maybe nothing. But people talk, Daniel. And the truth has a way of surfacing eventually." He waved me off. "You're imagining things." I left him standing there, fuming but silent. That was all I needed, silent cracks. At dinner one night, I unexpectedly ran into Lily. She froze when she saw me. "Ethan." "Lily," I said, voice steady. "How are you?" She swallowed hard. I didn't expect you're different." I smiled faintly. "I've changed. Time does that to a man." She looked away, biting her lip. I didn't know how things would turn out. "Daniel, I thought he was better than he is." I nodded slowly. "I've heard. He has a way of pretending everything's perfect, doesn't he?" Her eyes glistened. "Yes. And I'm realizing I made mistakes. I should have waited, maybe listened to my heart." I remained silent, letting her words hang in the air. The tension between us was thick, complicated, and yet powerful. She was beginning to understand the truth. I left shortly after, feeling a mixture of satisfaction and pity. Lily's realization was part of the slow unraveling. I didn't need to push. It was happening naturally. The next week, I visited Daniel's office under the guise of casual conversation. "Daniel, I hear the Elm Street investors aren't happy," I said lightly. His jaw tightened. "Ethan, why are you meddling in things that aren't your concern?" I shrugged. "Curiosity. I remember you used to advise me, though." Funny how the tables turn, isn't it? His eyes narrowed. "What are you trying to do?" "Nothing," I said innocently. "Just noticing patterns. People notice things eventually. Lies have a way of coming out." He slammed his hand on the desk, frustration evident. "You don't understand the pressure I'm under." "I understand enough," I said quietly. "You've built a house of cards, Daniel. Every lie, every manipulation, one misstep and it all falls." He glared, but said nothing. That silence told me more than words ever could. The seed of doubt was growing. At home that evening, I reflected on my progress. Olivia was sitting across from me. "You're doing well," she said. Subtle, quiet, effective. "He's slipping." I nodded. "It's strange. I used to want him to feel pain immediately. Now, I want it to unfold. Slowly. Perfectly. Let him watch his world crumble without realizing why." She smiled faintly. "That's patience. That's wisdom. That's you, finally in control." I smiled back, thinking of Daniel's face when he discovers the network of lies he built around him. The thought made my chest tighten with anticipation. Karma was in motion, and I was merely guiding it. I discovered more betrayals. Daniel had cheated investors, manipulated employees, and turned friends against each other. Every revelation added fuel to my strategy. I didn't act recklessly. I collected, observed, waited. Each person he'd wronged became an ally to my cause, sometimes unknowingly. One evening, a minor associate confronted me. "Ethan, are you trying to destroy Daniel?" I shrugged. "Not trying. I'm letting reality do its work. Daniel made choices. He'll face the consequences." "Do you ever think about confronting him physically?" the man asked. I shook my head. "Violence isn't my way. My strength isn't in fists. It's in patience, in planning, in seeing the truth emerge. He nodded slowly. I see, clever. I walked away, feeling the satisfaction of knowing my control was growing. Every observation, every small maneuver brought me closer to reclaiming dignity, to seeing justice unfold naturally. Days later, I met Lily again. Ethan, I feel guilty, she said quietly. I should have known better. I should have seen Daniel for what he is. I nodded. It's not your fault, Lily. You were misled, just like I was. But now you know. Her eyes glistened. Do you forgive me? I smiled faintly. Forgiveness isn't my priority right now. Truth and clarity are. Once they come, everything else will follow. By the end of the month, subtle rumors spread. Daniel's associates whispered, investors questioned decisions, and his public image started to crack. I watched silently, letting karma do its work while I remained patient, deliberate, invisible but potent. One night, Olivia said, "You're almost there. He's faltering, and you haven't even touched him directly yet." I nodded, feeling a calm resolve. Exactly. Direct confrontation isn't necessary yet. He's unraveling on his own. And when the time comes, he'll see who he underestimated. Me. I clenched my fists, a quiet fire burning in my chest. Karma was moving, and I was guiding it. Small victories, subtle but precise, were all it took. Daniel had no idea the storm was coming. And soon, everything he built on lies would collapse. Word count, 1,200 white heavy checkmark. I watched from the edge of the room as Daniel fidgeted behind the podium. The conference hall buzzed with investors, journalists, and colleagues, all eager for the next revelation. The air smelled like tension, ambition, and fear. He smiled at them, the same arrogant grin he'd worn for years, but I could see the cracks beneath it. I stepped forward quietly. Olivia squeezed my hand. "Are you ready?" she whispered. I nodded. More than ever. The first slide appeared, highlighting mismanaged funds, unethical deals, and carefully documented lies. Daniel's smile faltered slightly. He cleared his throat. "Ethan, what are you?" I raised a hand, stopping him. "Let me speak, Daniel. You built this life on lies, manipulation, and the blind trust of people who believed in you. Everything you thought would protect you is unraveling. Right here, right now." Gasps rippled through the room. Daniel's face went pale. "You have no right." I shook my head. "I have every right. I trusted you once. I followed your guidance. I believed in family. And you betrayed me. You betrayed everyone who trusted you. Today, you face the truth, and I'll make sure everyone sees it, Daniel. No violence. No revenge. Just reality." Lily stepped closer, her eyes wide. "Ethan, I turned to her, letting my gaze soften. "Lily, I know this is hard. I know the truth hurts. But you need to see him for who he really is. Not the man he pretended to be, not the brother you married, but the man who hid behind lies and arrogance for 10 years. I watched from the edge of the room as Daniel fidgeted behind the podium. The conference hall buzzed with investors, journalists, and colleagues, all eager for the next revelation. The air smelled like tension, ambition, and fear. He smiled at them, the same arrogant grin he'd worn for years, but I could see the cracks beneath it. I stepped forward quietly. Olivia squeezed my hand. "Are you ready?" she whispered. I nodded. More than ever. The first slide appeared, highlighting mismanaged funds, unethical deals, and carefully documented lies. Daniel's smile faltered slightly. He cleared his throat. "Ethan, what are you?" I raised a hand, stopping him. "Let me speak, Daniel. You built this life on lies, manipulation, and the blind trust of people who believed in you. Everything you thought would protect you is unraveling. Right here, right now." Gasps rippled through the room. Daniel's face went pale. "You have no right." I shook my head. "I have every right. I trusted you once. I followed your guidance. I believed in family. And you betrayed me. You betrayed everyone who trusted you. Today, you face the truth, and I'll make sure everyone sees it, Daniel. No violence. No revenge. Just reality." Lily stepped closer, her eyes wide. "Ethan, I turned to her, letting my gaze soften. "Lily, I know this is hard. I know the truth hurts, but you need to see him for who he really is. Not the man he pretended to be, not the brother you married, but the man who hid behind lies and arrogance for 10 years. A journalist raised a hand. Mr. Parker, are these accusations verified? I nodded. Every claim has been double-checked, every transaction traced. You see, Daniel's downfall isn't my doing, it's the result of his own actions. I merely opened the doors for everyone to see clearly. Daniel's breathing grew heavier. He tried to speak, but no words came out. The silence was deafening. Every gasp, every whispered conversation, every glance from investors, it all belonged to him now. He couldn't hide, not from the world, not from the consequences of his choices. Lily stepped closer to me again. Ethan, thank you. For everything. For showing me what integrity looks like. I was blind. I was wrong. I placed a hand on her shoulder, gently. We all make mistakes, Lily. The important thing is that we learn, that we grow. That's what matters. Not revenge, not punishment, but truth and personal strength. She nodded, tears spilling down her cheeks. I understand now. I'm proud of you. More than I can say. I gave her a faint smile, letting the words settle. Thank you. That means more than you realize. Daniel's voice broke the silence. Ethan, please. I can fix this. I can make amends. I shook my head slowly. Daniel, fixing isn't always possible. And some mistakes, they're irreversible. What you need now is reflection, understanding, and acceptance. I won't punish you physically. I won't. He slumped further, the weight of realization pressing on him. I thought I was smart. I thought I could control everything. You controlled only the surface, I said. The truth was always deeper, and it was stronger than your pride, your greed, your arrogance. I trusted you once, Daniel, and you broke me. But now, I paused, letting the power of my words land. Now, I stand taller than you ever could. Morally, mentally, emotionally. You may have wealth and appearances, but I have clarity, strength, and destroy you. Life will do that naturally, one way or another. He stared at me, eyes wide, a mixture of fear, disbelief, and regret. The room itself seemed to hold its breath. Olivia stepped forward, her gaze steady on Daniel. You underestimated him, she said simply. He survived the impossible. And now, he thrives where you fail. Daniel's face twitched, the reality of his failures crashing over him. I didn't see it. I shook my head. You never thought, Daniel. You acted, and now you face the consequences. Silence will serve you better than words. I turned away from him and looked at the room, at the faces of those who had once believed in him. Truth is patient, and karma is inevitable. I didn't rush. I didn't force it. I let it unfold. And today, you see the outcome of your choices. Not by my hands, but by life itself. Lily took my hand, and I felt the weight of the years lift slightly. Ethan, can we move forward? She asked quietly. I nodded. We move forward, Lily. But forward doesn't mean back. Forward means learning, growing, respecting ourselves, and making choices that honor who we've become. Marcus stepped beside me, nodding. You've done well, Ethan. Not just surviving, but teaching without breaking, leading without destroying. That's true strength. I looked at him, gratitude in my eyes. Thank you, Marcus. I couldn't have done this without your guidance, your lessons in patience and survival. You taught me that the mind is sharper than any weapon, that silence is stronger than violence. He smiled faintly. And now, you wield that strength with wisdom. That's what makes you unstoppable. I exhaled, letting the tension leave my body. For the first time in a decade, I fell whole. Daniel would live with his choices, Lily and I had clarity, and I had reclaimed my life. The past 10 years had shaped me, forged me into someone I could respect, someone who could face betrayal, heartbreak, and injustice, and still emerge morally and emotionally intact. Daniel slumped further, silent, broken in his own way. Lily's gaze held both sorrow and understanding. Olivia's presence reminded me of loyalty, friendship, and human kindness. And Marcus, he was the symbol of wisdom, resilience, and the path I had walked to arrive here. I turned to Lily and whispered, I am no longer the man who blindly trusted his brother. I am stronger, wiser. I survived, and now I live for myself, not for anyone else's approval or deceit. She nodded, tears in her eyes. And I respect that. I see the man you become, Ethan. Not the man I married, not the man who left for prison, but you, the real you. I smiled, finally at peace. Thank you. That's all I ever wanted, to be seen for who I truly am. Daniel's downfall was complete. Socially, financially, emotionally, he faced the consequences of his own choices. He could rebuild, maybe, but he would never regain the trust, the integrity, or the respect he had squandered. And that was justice enough. I breathed deeply, feeling the cool evening air brush against my skin. This was my moment of closure. The storm of anger, grief, and betrayal had passed. What remained was strength, dignity, and the knowledge that I had reclaimed my life without compromising my moral compass. I took a step forward, holding Lily's hand and walking into the night, ready to embrace the life I had fought for, ready to live fully, freely, and with unwavering self-respect. The past was gone. The betrayal was behind me. What remained was truth, justice, and the man I had become. I was no longer Ethan Parker the betrayed. I was Ethan Parker the survivor, the morally centered, the transformed. And finally, I was free.